Welcome to the Deep Dive. Okay, let's get into this. Picture it. 1936, the Great Depression has a stranglehold on America, spirits are low, and over in Europe, a shadow is growing. It feels epic, almost cinematic.
It really does. And right in the middle of that despair, our focus is this incredibly intimate story. 9 young guys from the University of Washington.
Yeah, not exactly who you'd expect.
Not at all. Sons of loggers, shipyard workers, farmers. Working class kids, really, facing, well, almost impossible odds. They often didn't have much, sometimes not even enough food.
True underdogs.
The ultimate underdogs. It sets up this amazing contest, right? Grit versus privilege.
So our mission here for this deep dive is to sort of unpack how this crew, against all odds, achieved something incredible. We're not just retelling history.
No, we're digging for the lessons. What is true grit?
Yeah.
How did they find that edge? And maybe what does their story mean for you listening today?
Absolutely. And what's fascinating is before they even got to the world stage, they had overcome huge hurdles right here at home.
Oh, completely. Everyone expected the established crews, the polished East Coast teams, or maybe the British, to just walk away with it.
These UW boys, they were seen as, well, rough, untrained in that sophisticated style, expected to fail, frankly.
And at the absolute core of that struggle, you find Joe Rance.
Ah, Joe. His story is something else. It wasn't just a tough upbringing. Rowing was fundamental for him, wasn't it?
Utterly fundamental. He was basically abandoned as a teenager, had to fend for himself, living alone, dealing with this profound sense of isolation.
So when we talk about him rowing, it's deeper than just sport or even a scholarship.
Exactly. He was trying to piece himself back together. Rowing was about regaining his, quote, shattered self-regard, finding somewhere, anywhere he truly belonged, like finding a family.
And he found that in the boat, in that rhythm.
In the perfect synchronization, that's the heart of it.
So the big question then becomes, how do they actually do it? How does sheer willpower beat better funding, more experience? What was the secret sauce?
Right. And that brings us to George Pocock, the boat builder, a kind of philosopher of rowing.
Pocock, yeah, he had this idea.
He insisted it wasn't about 9 individual stars. It was about synergy, about finding the swing.
The swing. Explain that a bit.
It's this almost mystical state of perfect rhythm, perfect harmony, where the boat feels effortless, alive. 9 individuals pulling as one single entity, magnifying their power.
So their edge wasn't brute strength alone. It came from needing each other. Their shared hardship forced that trust.
Precisely. That necessity bred an incredible bond, which translated into that perfect collaborative motion. And you can't forget their coxswain, Bobby Mokin.
The strategist, the brain in the boat.
Knew their strength was rhythm and stamina, and crucially, knew exactly when to unleash it. That's how they beat those top U.S. crews, like Cal.
Which leads us to the climax, the really chilling part. Berlin, 1936, the Olympics.
Yeah. After clawing their way to the top in the U.S., these working class kids are suddenly on Hitler's stage.
And those games, they weren't just about sports. Hitler meant them as a showcase, right, for Nazi Germany. Aryan supremacy.
The political stakes were just enormous. They weren't just racing 8 other guys in boats. They were, in a way, rowing against this powerful, dark political machine.
Showing the world what true grit really meant, as the book puts it.
It was a race for dignity, for hope itself, proving that this American spirit, this pulling together from desperate times, could stand up to anything, even that.
And bringing that resilience to you, listening now. The whole story drawn from their own words, their memories.
Yeah.
It's just pure inspiration.
It shows what determination, what optimism, what unity can achieve, even when everything seems broken or stacked against you.
It really makes you think.
It does. And here's a question for you. If these young men, coming from poverty and heartbreak, could find that perfect synergy, that swing, and overcome so much just by pulling together, what seemingly impossible thing could you tackle today?
How could you find your own collaborators, your own swing? To get the full story, the nail-biting details of that final race, how they put Pocock's ideas into action under that immense pressure, you really need to read The Boys in the Boat.
Absolutely. It's an unforgettable journey.
It truly is. And it might just be the fuel you need for your next bold move, your own big dream.
Call Christian Record Services at 402-488-0981, option 3, for more information. We provide resources in Braille, large print, and audio formats, as well as opportunities for engagement through a daily telephone program and confidence-building camping experiences.